House L will always bind us together.
Hey everybody, whole bunch of Justice League stuff happening. I figured it was time to start talking about the Superman prequel TV series, Krypton. They have the teaser out, they've revealed that Brainiac, Doomsday, a bunch of big characters are coming, and they calling it a Terminator version of a Superman story. So if that doesn't blow your mind already, that basically means they're jumping around in time, and somebody will be messing with Superman's timeline. But if you're finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get everything. There's a Justice League ticket giveaway I'm still doing too. I'll explain at the end of the video.
You know, at the kind of the heart of it is this, there's a conspiracy from, and I wish I could, but I can't say who, from present-day Earth, 2017, and there's, traveling back in time to Krypton of 200 years ago. And the conspiracy is to prevent the birth of Superman. So that's what the stakes of the show are really about. So it's less about a look back at this period of time that's in the past, but it's about now. The show's about the present.
There is a bit of a Terminator kind of way we're approaching this, which is we immediately just want to kind of, really pull the rug out from under the mythology of Krypton, so that by the end of the pilot, you're like, oh, everything I thought I knew about where this was going to go and what's supposed to happen, that's not happening anymore. And this isn't just a look back. It's kind of the past and the present colliding, and the stakes are kind of the whole enchilada.
I did a video earlier this year, but they've since changed the show enough that they asked people to take their trailer videos down, which is a really weird thing to do, but whatever. Like you saw in that teaser, it's supposed to premiere next year. They didn't say exactly when, but I think it's supposed to be in the spring. But they just confirmed that Brainiac would be coming to the series. We learned about Adam Strange. They have full-blown Doomsday coming, Hawkwoman, and then without completely spoiling everything, they said other big comic book characters would be coming on from the Superman mythos. So if you have no idea what's going on, you're like, wait a minute, there's a Superman TV show? I didn't know about this. What's happening is originally the idea was they were going to do a TV show about Superman's grandfather called Seg-El, played by this actor here. They shot a pilot, there was a trailer earlier this year, there's a bootleg version that went around, but then they took those all down. They had originally planned to air that pilot episode during Comic-Con, but I think what happened is they went back to the board with the series, they retooled a bunch of things, they recast a couple of the actors, and I think it changed enough that they didn't want to show people what it looked like because the actual show will look so much different. But I know a lot of you are like, well, wait a minute, if they're doing Superman's grandfather, and this is supposed to be about 100 years before Krypton was blown up, so Jor-El hasn't been born yet. In fact, his grandfather is like a young man. He's like Clark Kent during Smallville age. But when you hear characters like Hawkwoman and Adam Strange, you're like, wait a minute, they're from the modern era. How could they be on a TV series that's set 100 years in the past? So they confirmed this is probably one of the changes they made during the course of this year, is that the TV show will take place during multiple time periods. So sort of the core mystery of the TV series is that somebody has a plot to erase Superman's legacy in present day. So they do something in the past, and Hawkwoman and Adam Strange find out about it, and it starts off this big conspiracy that throws them between the past and the present. So before this all started, I think originally it was just intended to be a straight-up Superman prequel, and it would always take place in the past. But I do like the new idea. Like, people are trying to get rid of Superman in present day, so you go back and you try to do something to his family in the past. But I saw a lot of you in my timeline recently asking about the logic of Brainiac because he's a clue in artificial intelligence, and yeah, there's a bunch of different versions of him in the DC universe, but he's mainly thought of as a present-day Superman villain. So if you're wondering how Brainiac can appear in the past, you just have to remember that he's ancient. It took him a long time to evolve. Like, for instance, Brainiac 5, he's a member of the Legion of Superheroes in the 30th and 31st century. So I would say that we're going to see the origins of Brainiac, but because it's a time travel show, we might be seeing future versions of Brainiac that have come back into the past to try and change things. But there are too many questions. All we know is that this is the actor that will be playing Brainiac, so he'll be a human form version of the character. Whichever version of him we see, whether it's Brainiac 1, 2, 3, whichever one. The other big thing is Doomsday, like what's going on with Doomsday in the past. Now, he was created by the Kryptonian underworld, so we might get to see some scientists experimenting with proto-versions of Doomsday as we know him in present day. but because of the way that Doomsday works, he's effectively timeless in the way that Superman is. You almost can't kill him. You can fire him into the sun, but he can almost regenerate from a single drop of blood, Lobo style. So I think the big question here is like, when will these characters pop up? Are they going to be the present versions? Are they going to be the versions in the past? I think when you hear really cool characters are coming on like that, they're just going to let them have fun with it. So we'll probably see multiple different versions of each of the characters. With exception to Superman, I think the idea of Superman on the TV show will probably be a little bit different than what you've seen before. The last big TV version of Superman we saw was when Tyler Hoechlin did it on Supergirl. The TV show is supposed to be a way more hardcore version of the mythos, so think of it as being more in the tone of the movies, which is why this is more of a DC movie prequel than it is a DC TV prequel. But here are the creators talking a little bit about the TV series back at Comic-Con.
So it gives us a kind of a blank slate really to work with. There are things that we tie in to existing canon, but we've kind of got our own little corner of the DC universe to play with, which is fantastic.
It quickly becomes a series where a couple of things become true. One, it is not a story about 200 years ago. It is actually a story about the present. Everything that's happening in our show affects now, and so there could be some time travel involved, but we can't confirm or deny. But truthfully, it becomes with the here and now, and that upends the story and changes the future to the point where we're not sure what is going to happen to Krypton. We really just wanted immediately to reset the stakes and change what people think they know about the origins of Superman, what Krypton is, and what Krypton's destiny is. So that's all thrown into question immediately when the show begins.
So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of the idea of a hardcore Superman TV show that jumps around in time and gets to do some of the biggest characters, but it's not necessarily connected to the DC TV shows? So like all the characters you see here, like the Hawkwoman that you see on this TV show, will not be the Hawkwoman that you saw on Legends of Tomorrow. But it's just an example of them doing a more hardcore spin on DC TV. Like when the Titans TV show comes, everyone's talking about Nightwing. I just did a video about it. That will also be more hardcore than the TV shows you've seen so far, which I think people have been asking for. I think there's room for more hardcore stuff as long as it's on the right network, and that's kind of what Sci-Fi is going for. There is that Justice League ticket giveaway that's going on right now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on the video. I'll announce a winner the next time I post Justice League. That'll probably be later this weekend. They just dropped a whole bunch of new stuff. While you wait for everything, click here for my Thor Ragnarok post-credit scene, and you can click here for my Arrow Deathstroke trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.